Have you ever stopped mid-walk, felt that strange heaviness in your legs, and thought, wait, why do they feel weaker even though I'm eating healthy and staying active? For many seniors, this is an all too familiar mystery. You might be following your doctor's advice, getting your daily fruits and veggies, walking in the morning, maybe even doing some light stretching, yet your legs feel more tired than they used to. The answer isn't always about aging in the way we usually think. While it's true that our metabolism slows, circulation can weaken, and inflammation tends to creep in as the years pass, there's another hidden factor that often gets overlooked. The very foods we believe are helping us may, in certain cases, be quietly working against us. And surprisingly, some of the culprits are fruits, yes, those colorful, juicy, healthy staples we've been told to eat since childhood. This video isn't here to demonize fruit, they have plenty of benefits, but to shine a light on the specific ones that can create real problems for older adults, especially when it comes to maintaining leg strength, mobility, and joint health. By the end, you'll see why a simple fruit swap could mean less swelling, more energy, and a much lighter step. And don't worry, we're not just here to warn you about the worst fruits. I'll also give you tasty, low-inflammation alternatives so you can still enjoy sweetness without sacrificing your leg's vitality. So, grab your notepad because the truth we're about to uncover might just change your grocery list this week and your morning walks for the better. As we grow older, our bodies undergo a series of changes that aren't always obvious day to day, but over time they can have a big impact on how strong and energetic we feel. Metabolism naturally slows down, meaning our bodies burn fewer calories and process sugars less efficiently. Blood circulation often becomes less robust, so oxygen and nutrients don't reach our muscles as quickly as before. And inflammation, that silent, slow-burning process, tends to increase, subtly damaging joints, tissues, and even the tiny blood vessels that keep our legs moving with ease. Now here's the twist: certain fruits, which most of us view as safe and wholesome, can actually worsen these age-related changes. It's not that the fruits are bad in general. In fact, many of them have great nutrients. But the combination of their natural sugars, acids, and how our bodies handle them after age 60 can create unintended consequences. For example, high glycemic fruits cause sharp spikes in blood sugar, and when that sugar rush fades, you're left with fatigue and inflammation. Acidic fruits can irritate sensitive joints and contribute to swelling, and fruits high in fructose may elevate uric acid levels, making knee and ankle discomfort more likely. The challenge is that most of us were raised with the mantra, eat more fruit, it's healthy. And while that's still largely true for younger people or those without certain health issues, seniors need a more strategic approach. The good news is, once you understand how specific fruits interact with an aging body, you can adjust your diet in a way that still feels satisfying but actually supports your leg strength, balance, and overall vitality. This isn't about cutting joy from your plate. It's about eating smart so your legs can carry you further, longer, and with less pain. Pineapple is one of those fruits that instantly brings to mind sunny beaches, tropical drinks, and a burst of refreshing sweetness. It's rich in vitamin C, packed with antioxidants, and famous for bromelain, an enzyme known to help reduce inflammation. On paper, it sounds like a perfect fruit for anyone wanting to stay healthy in later years. But here's the catch. For seniors, pineapple's benefits can be overshadowed by its drawbacks. First, it's naturally high in sugar, and that sugar hits your bloodstream quickly. For someone whose metabolism and insulin sensitivity have slowed with age, this can cause a noticeable spike in blood sugar, followed by a crash that leaves your legs feeling heavy and drained. Second, pineapple's high acidity can be rough on the joints, especially for those already dealing with arthritis or inflammation. And if you're taking certain medications, particularly blood thinners, bromelain can interact in ways that may increase bleeding risk or bruising. What's tricky is that these effects aren't always immediate or dramatic. You might not eat a slice of pineapple and suddenly feel weaker. Instead, the gradual impact, repeated blood sugar swings, slow building inflammation, and subtle joint irritation can quietly chip away at your leg strength over months or years. This is why it's so important for seniors to view pineapple as an occasional treat rather than a daily staple. If you love that tangy sweet flavor, consider pairing small amounts with lower sugar fruits like berries, which can help balance the glycemic load. That way, you still get to enjoy pineapple's tropical charm without letting it quietly undermine your mobility. Bananas are often seen as the ultimate healthy snack. They're portable, filling, and packed with potassium, which helps regulate muscle function and fluid balance. Athletes swear by them for quick energy before a workout, and for younger bodies, they work great in that role. But for seniors, bananas can have a different effect, and it's not always the good kind. While the quick energy from bananas comes from their natural sugars, it also means they have a relatively high glycemic load, especially when the fruit is very ripe. This can cause a sharp increase in blood sugar levels, leading to a surge of energy followed by a slump that leaves your legs feeling heavier and less responsive. The problem is compounded if you're already dealing with insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes, where your body struggles to process that sugar efficiently. Another subtle effect is water retention. Bananas are rich in potassium, but when eaten in excess, they can disrupt the delicate sodium-potassium balance in your system, leading to swelling, particularly in the lower legs and ankles. This can make walking, climbing stairs, or standing for long periods noticeably harder. It's worth noting that bananas themselves aren't bad. In moderation, they're still a good source of nutrients. But for seniors aiming to maintain light, strong, flexible legs, they work best as an occasional part of a balanced diet rather than an everyday habit. If you love bananas, one smart trick is to choose slightly green, less ripe ones, which have more resistant starch and less sugar. Pairing them with protein, like a handful of nuts, can also help slow the sugar absorption and keep your energy steadier throughout the day. Grapes seem harmless. After all, they're tiny, juicy, and often marketed as a heart-healthy snack thanks to their antioxidants, particularly resveratrol. They're easy to toss into a lunchbox or eat by the handful while watching TV. But for seniors, grapes can be a sneaky source of trouble when it comes to leg strength and joint health. The main issue is their high fructose content. While fructose is a natural sugar, it's processed differently from glucose, and in excess, it can contribute to elevated uric acid levels. Over time, this can increase the risk of gout, a form of arthritis that often strikes the toes, ankles, and knees. Even without full-blown gout, higher uric acid can trigger subtle inflammation in the joints, leading to stiffness or discomfort that makes walking less pleasant. Grapes also have a moderate to high glycemic index, meaning a handful can cause blood sugar fluctuations similar to more obviously sweet treats. For an older body that doesn't metabolize sugars as efficiently, these swings can translate into dips in energy and heavier-feeling legs. Another challenge is portion control. Grapes are bite-sized and delicious, so it's easy to eat far more than intended. A single cup can contain over 20 grams of sugar, and many people eat double that without realizing it. For seniors wanting to keep grapes in their diet, moderation is key. Limiting portions to a small handful and pairing them with protein or healthy fats can help blunt the sugar spike. Alternatively, swapping grapes for berries, which offer antioxidants with far less sugar, can give you the benefits without the drawbacks. The goal isn't to ban grapes completely, but to be mindful so they remain a sweet accent to your diet, not a daily sugar trap. Mangoes are often called the king of fruits, luscious, fragrant, and bursting with flavor. The biggest culprit is their very high natural sugar content. But for seniors, mangoes can pack a hidden challenge, especially when it comes to maintaining light, strong legs. They're rich in vitamins A and C, loaded with antioxidants, and can give you that instant taste of summer in just a few bites. A single medium mango can contain over 45 grams of sugar, which is more than some desserts. For an aging body, this can cause significant blood sugar spikes, followed by the all-too-familiar crash in energy that leaves your legs feeling sluggish. If you already deal with insulin resistance or diabetes, these swings can be even more pronounced, adding extra strain to your circulation and muscles. Another concern with mangoes is their potential to promote inflammation in sensitive joints. While they're not acidic like pineapples, their high sugar load still contributes to low-grade inflammation over time. This inflammation can subtly chip away at mobility, making it harder to keep up with daily activities like walking long distances or climbing stairs. There's also the portion problem because mangoes are soft, sweet, and easy to eat. It's easy to consume a large amount without realizing it. By the time you've finished slicing and eating a ripe mango, you might have eaten the sugar equivalent of several pieces of cake. That doesn't mean mangoes are off limits. It just means they're best enjoyed occasionally and in smaller portions. Pairing a few slices with a handful of nuts or plain yogurt can slow sugar absorption and keep your energy steadier. This way, you can still savor their tropical sweetness without letting them quietly drain your leg's strength over time. Cherries are often celebrated for their antioxidant content, especially anthocyanins, which can help reduce inflammation and promote heart health. They're also known for potentially aiding sleep thanks to their natural melatonin content. On the surface, they sound like a perfect choice for seniors looking to stay active and healthy. But as with many fruits, there's another side to the story. Cherries are relatively high in natural sugars, and eating a generous portion, which is easy to do given how small and snackable they are, can cause noticeable blood sugar spikes. These spikes can be particularly disruptive for older adults as they often translate into energy fluctuations and leg fatigue. What's more, cherries have been linked to changes in uric acid levels. While some studies suggest tart cherries might help with gout in certain cases, sweet cherries can have the opposite effect for some individuals, potentially triggering flare-ups in sensitive joints like the knees and ankles. This can lead to swelling or stiffness that makes walking or standing for long periods uncomfortable. Another challenge is seasonality. When cherries are fresh and in season, they're delicious, but off-season, many people turn to canned or dried versions, which often have added sugars or syrups that multiply the potential downsides. For seniors who love cherries, the key is portion control and timing. Having a small handful of fresh cherries as part of a balanced snack, rather than eating a whole bowl at once, can help prevent sharp blood sugar swings. And when possible, choosing tart cherries in moderation may offer some of the anti-inflammatory benefits without as much sugar impact. This mindful approach lets you enjoy the flavor and nostalgia of cherries without quietly undermining your leg health. Oranges are practically a symbol of health, bright, juicy, and famous for their vitamin C content, which supports the immune system and helps the body repair tissues. For decades, they've been promoted as a daily essential, especially in the form of breakfast juice. But for seniors, especially those concerned about joint comfort and leg strength, oranges aren't always as harmless as they seem. One of the main concerns is their acidity. While that tangy flavor can be refreshing, the citric acid can irritate joints in some individuals, particularly those dealing with arthritis or chronic inflammation. Over time, this irritation may contribute to stiffness or discomfort in the knees and ankles, making movement less enjoyable. The sugar content is another consideration. Although the sugar in oranges is natural, it still affects blood glucose levels, especially when consumed in juice form. Orange juice, in particular, delivers a concentrated dose of sugar without the fiber found in whole fruit, causing a faster and higher blood sugar spike. This can result in that familiar energy roller coaster, a quick burst followed by fatigue, which often shows up in the legs first. There's also the matter of tooth enamel and digestion. Frequent exposure to citrus acids can wear down enamel, and in sensitive stomachs, the acid can lead to bloating or discomfort, indirectly affecting mobility and energy. For seniors who love oranges, the best approach is moderation and mindful pairing. Eating a few fresh slices along with a source of protein, such as cheese or yogurt, can help balance blood sugar response. And opting for whole fruit instead of juice preserves the fiber and slows sugar absorption. That way, you still get the refreshing burst of citrus without inviting the slow creep of leg fatigue and joint irritation. Watermelon is often the star of summer, crisp, refreshing, and made up of over 90% water. It's a natural hydrator and a source of vitamins A and C, plus antioxidants like lycopene that support heart health. On hot days, it feels like the perfect snack. But for seniors, watermelon can present some hidden challenges, especially when it comes to maintaining steady energy and strong legs. Despite its light, watery texture, watermelon contains a surprisingly high glycemic index. This means the sugars it contains, mostly fructose, are absorbed quickly, causing blood sugar to spike and then drop. These rapid shifts can leave your legs feeling heavy or unsteady, particularly if you're already managing diabetes or insulin resistance. Another consideration is its diuretic effect. Because watermelon is so hydrating, it can increase urine output, which may lead to mild dehydration if you're not careful about replacing lost fluids and electrolytes. Dehydration, even at a low level, can cause muscle cramps and reduce stamina in the legs. Additionally, watermelon is easy to overeat. Its refreshing sweetness can make you forget just how much you've had until you've eaten several large slices, translating to a significant sugar load in one sitting. For seniors who enjoy watermelon, portion control and timing are key. Eating a small serving as part of a balanced meal rather than as a standalone snack can help slow sugar absorption. Pairing it with something high in protein or healthy fat, like a slice of cheese or a handful of almonds, can also blunt the sugar spike. This approach allows you to enjoy the cool, refreshing taste of watermelon without unintentionally draining your leg strength or energy reserves. When it comes to fruit and leg strength, the key takeaway isn't that you should fear these foods, it's that balance and awareness matter more than anything. Every fruit on this list, bananas, pineapples, pears, grapes, mangoes, cherries, oranges, and watermelon, offers valuable nutrients and potential health benefits. But for seniors, the sugar content, acidity, and portion sizes can quietly chip away at mobility and energy if not managed mindfully. The main thread connecting all these problem fruits is how they impact blood sugar, inflammation, and hydration, three factors that play a direct role in how light or heavy your legs feel day to day. The solution is not to ban these fruits from your life, but to reframe how and when you enjoy them. Eating smaller portions, pairing fruits with protein or healthy fats, and spacing them out throughout the week can help you avoid the energy dips and joint strain they might otherwise cause. In some cases, swapping them for lower sugar, lower acid fruits like berries, kiwis, or apples can give you similar nutrients without the same downsides. Real-life examples from active seniors show that just a few adjustments, like replacing morning orange juice with whole fruit or swapping an after-dinner bowl of grapes for a handful of blueberries, can lead to noticeable improvements in stamina, reduced leg soreness, and a more steady energy level throughout the day. The bottom line: your legs carry you through every chapter of life. By making smarter fruit choices, you can keep them strong, steady, and ready for the adventures still ahead. Treat fruit like a spice, not the main course, and you'll enjoy both its sweetness and your own vitality for years to come. Take care of your health, take care of your legs, and don't forget to hit the bell and subscribe so you never miss our next tip.